welcome to ET Now Startup Central, India's first and only daily show dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Chandra Shrikant, joining you live from India's startup capital, Bengaluru.
And I'm Krishna Kumar, coming to you live from ET Now's Mumbai studios. We do have a power-packed and a very special 20 minutes lined up for you today. But first up, a check on all that's making headlines here at ET Now Startup Central. We told you last week about AskMe.com shutting down, leaving thousands of employees in the lurch. And today we take that story forward from two different dimensions: the fight that is being fought in the courtroom and the recourse left for anguished employees who suddenly find themselves without a job. Robots are playing a very important role today, but the future lies in the hand of collaborative robots, or CoBots, which will work along with humans to create new avenues. That's the word in from Universal Robots, the Denmark headquartered company, which says the focus will be on making robotic technologies accessible to small and medium enterprises. While caution may have seeped in for the VC community, the social impact space continues to see a lot of action. Omidyar Network, a US-based philanthropic investment arm backed by eBay, founder Pierre Omidyar says it continues to remain optimistic and is on track to invest $400 million by 2020. A chat with the management coming up.
To a top story then, Krishna, and as you said, it's really about Ask Me. And last week we did tell you about that portal shutting down, effectively leaving thousands of its employees in the lurch. Today we really take that story forward from two different dimensions. A very intense battle that's being fought in the National Company Law Tribunal between Malaysia-based Astro, which is AskMe's majority investor in AskMe. And on the other hand, we also have employees who are really left with no choice as of now. But before we take it to some of these employees joining us from the Mumbai studio this evening, we take it to Arun Nayal in Delhi, who's been tracking all the action as far as the Company Law Tribunal is concerned. Arun, take us, you've managed to get a copy of the petition really filed by AskMe. Take us through the key details and what the lawyers also are saying at this point.
Well, AskMe in its petition filed before National Company Law Tribunal is asking for the interim relief, so to speak. The immediate relief that they are seeking is to direct Astro not to dilute its stake in AskMe group. Also, secondly, they are saying that the company should not change the board. The company board should not be changed. Also, they are saying that National Company Law Tribunal should pass an order to maintain status quo vis-a-vis the present status of assets available with the company. So they do not want any sale of assets by Astro of AskMe Group. Now, the major relief that they are seeking through this petition filed in the National Company Tribunal is to declare the order and order that the company, Astro, the Malaysian-based company, is accused of operation and mismanagement. Also, they are saying that the interest of the employees and creditors of the company should be protected, and 300 odd crore rupees, which is USD $50 million, which Astro owns to AskMe Group, should be paid out to the company. Also, Rajiv Gupta, who is the MD of AskMe Group, through this petition is saying that he should be allowed to proceed with the management buyout in terms of the section 242(2)(b) of the Companies Act and direct Astro to sell all its share to the petitioner, meaning to himself, on the current valuation of the company. Now, he also wants to induct a strategic investor to keep the company AskMe Group afloat. So all these are the relief that have been sought by AskMe Group through this petition. It remains to be seen. The matter was listed for today but could not come up for hearing. And the lawyers for AskMe Group said that every day protests are being held by creditors and by employees of AskMe Group outside the offices, and this matter should be heard on priority basis.
Arun Nayal there getting us the status quo as far as the AskMe versus Astro case is concerned from the National Company Law Tribunal. Thank you so much, Arun, for bringing us that update. And as we promised you, the other dimension to this story, the 4,000 odd employees of AskMe.com who suddenly find themselves with the possibility of losing their jobs overnight. And I have with me three of them who join me here in the Mumbai studios. Let's understand from them as to what it means. Thank you, Santosh, Praful and Vikram for taking time out to be with us here in Mumbai studios. I just wanted to understand, as employees of AskMe, and I'm assuming you're employees based out of Mumbai, AskMe has offices in Delhi as well. as employees of AskMe, where do you stand at this point in time? There is a battle being fought at the National Company Law Tribunal between Astro, which is a major investor, versus AskMe, the management of AskMe. Where do you as employees stand?
So, first of all, I'd like to thank Krishna for giving us this platform to, reach our voice to the concerned authorities. I would want to make few points, as we are going through deep pain, we are hearing all over in the media that, that AskMe has laid off its 4,000 employees and it has shut down. There is no formal communication from the management or what's happened. We are clueless about the things happening at the top level, investors and management, and we are all distressed. We are in deep pain. People are worried about their the salaries which is not paid for last 2 months. We still are not in a position where we can take actions that, what should we do next year.
Vikram, so what I understand is that there are reports floating about how it's already shut down and people are asked to go, but that's not the fact so far, is what you're saying, that there's no communication about anything, whether it's going to be a shutdown or not, from the management to the employees.
Yes. Right. So 6 days back on 26th August, 23rd August, we got a mail from corporate HR saying that, work from home, but there is no clarity what work to do from home, and there is no clarity on whether we should offices are shut, and last week we were asked to close the offices, and nobody is going to office.
All right. In fact, my colleague Chandra from Bengaluru also has some questions for you guys. Chandra, so it's very clear that no formal communication, but offices have been shut as of a week ago, is the word coming in from Vikram here from AskMe.
Right, Krishna, thanks for that. And guys, I can't imagine what you must be going through, that state of limbo, no formal clarification. But thanks for presenting your point of view all the same. I really hope something comes out of this. But just to understand, if you can take us through, your own background and when you started working for AskMe, and also what's been happening in the last week with respect to customer orders. Have they, completely stopped taking orders? What's really been happening at this point?
We've been part of this AskMe team from last 3.5 years, and we have been giving all our best to ensure that this company grows well. Along with the, we've been trying and giving our everything to see that along with the employees, the company also does well. But to come to us as a shock that about a week back, the company has decided to, wind off, and then all of a sudden they shoot the emails to the employees, and they ask employees to work from the home. And as rightly my colleague mentioned, that the company is not giving us a proper formal communications. Whatever we are receiving is something through the media or from some other sources. What we are seeking from the management to get us the formal, communication where we can be even relaxed, because as you know that being an individual, being an employee, even everybody have got the family, and in fact it's not matter of 1 or 2, it's a matter of 4,000 families across the nation, and everybody is surviving for their bread and butter, and we have left clueless. We don't know that what is going to be the next step, whether we should quit this organization, whether we should go and find some other job, whether the company is going to revive or do any MBO thing or whatever it is. We need to know, and that's our right. And trust me, we have been raising these issues across all the platforms. We have in fact, raised these issues at the ministers level and everywhere. And we would like to thank ET as well as few ministers who has raised their voice to support AskMe family. And we would also urge other people to join us this cause and take it further.
Right. Just want to understand at this point, 4,000 families is a huge number, and I'm sure this is spread across cities in India, because, AskMe was expanding quite aggressively, especially AskMe Bazaar, which, hired Bollywood actors and all for its endorsement. So is there some formal or informal union at this point? And where are you in this battle that's happening in the courtroom between Astro and the existing management? Are you fully supportive of what the existing management is trying trying to do?
See, we are, as I just mentioned earlier, that we are actually not aware about what is actually happening from the management, what management is taking the action and what the investor is going to do. So what we are only concerned about our salary, which is needs to be paid, and it's been almost 2 months that we have not paid anything. So we are only concerned about our salaries, our claims, our dues, and the notice period which need to be served, and then the company need to give us the relieving letter, so that if the company is not going to be remain, then we can also seek for the other employment options. And that's what we have only concerned of. We don't want to get into anything else. Yes.
All right. Also, I wanted to understand, how did your talks with the management goes? Is there, are you on the management of a different tube, say, be it Mr. Sanjeev Gupta, who's the CMD, or the CEOs, the CFOs, the CMOs, what exactly did they say when you approached them?
They currently didn't respond to our questions. They have generally once sent a mail on 24th of this month, and after that there is no such official communication from the company side. We just want justice. We just want our 2 months salary and 6 month compensation part if company going to close down.
And to be very honest, Krishna ji, it is very disheartening to see that that 4,000 people are trying to get in touch with the higher management, but then higher ups are not responding to their things. And to be very, it is coming to us and our families as a very deep shock. And in fact, as I mentioned, that we are actually feeling abandoned from the management, because if they are not going to answer, then from where we are going to get the help.
Right. So Krishna, as they, Samir and they have mentioned it clearly, that we are in deep pain, and management should take responsibility and respond to reply to the employees at least, and there should be clarity that as senior that our seniors are also not aware of the things happening.
Even the CEOs, CMOs, and the CFOs, even your CFO also got in a scuffle with vendors who came to your office, from what I understand. Yeah. So they don't have any idea of what is the exact.
We are trying to raise their voice through the Twitter handle, and we all employees are trying to.
That, see, we have been told, and in fact this has been told to us by the management, that we don't know what is going to be the further process. But how could we believe on that? Right. See, this is has to be between, obviously, because this is not something which is at our level. This is not at our level. This need to be resolved. And
Chandra, you want to comment on that?
Right, just final questions for them, Krishna, in terms of what solution they see at this point. Have they already approached, the court, or I don't know what recourse one can have in this situation, but really what they're planning to do next in this regard?
So, it's been 2 months, we are not paid our salaries, and we would want management to respond us as early as possible, so that people. It's not about people at middle level at managerial level, they can survive for 2 months or 3 months, but at bottom level people are worried, and it's a matter of their bread and butter. The management should take responsibility, and quickly they should respond to this. As it's going it's going worse, out of control. Okay,
that's right.
People are trying their best, employees, all the employees are tweeting to the celebrities and government, and trying to get the answers.
What we've been actually trying to, our voice to be heard by the concerned authorities.
Fair enough. And that's the reason why we brought you guys to our studios here on our show, ET Now Startup Central. Here's wishing that the right authorities, the concerned authorities, whoever can help the 4,000 plus employees of AskMe Group, from losing their daily bread. So here's wishing you guys all the best. And
in
we'll
fact,
make
Krishna, I would just like to take one more minute, that we have also been tweeting on the PMO's this thing handles, and we would also urge, because he is the one, I think, because I have earlier also witnessed that the people has been rescued, and a lot of things has been done earlier, so we are also very hopeful that something kind of this is going to be happen, and the 4,000 families of AskMe is going to be rescued, and the things are going to be back on the normal platform.
We are also tweeting to many government authorities and famous personalities like Sohail Seth and Pankaj Panchori, and there are other people responding to our tweets and retweeting our tweets. Even Subramaniam Swamy has also written a letter to Ministry of Corporate Affairs to intervene in this matter and take help us resolve it as soon as possible.
let's just hope, for the sake of the 4,000 plus employees at AskMe Group, that this gets resolved sooner than later. And we here at 18 Hours Startup Central have given you the platform to raise your voice. Here's hoping that the right authorities, the concerned authorities, listen to the voice of employees who could lose their daily bread overnight. And that's the reason why this is our top story, the AskMe versus Astro story that's currently being heard at the National Company Law Tribunal in New Delhi. And the hearing will continue tomorrow. And we here at 18 Hours Startup Central will keep you posted. Thank you so much for joining us here in our studios. Thank you.
Yes.
Moving on, Chandra, there is a brand new startup in the fintech space. Ratan Tata, Vijay Kelkar and Nandan Nilekani have started a technology-enabled financial inclusion vehicle, Avanti Finance, which will be focused on delivering affordable and timely credit to underserved and unserved segments in India. The aim is to leverage on the social sector presence of Tata Trusts and other like-minded partners in the rapidly evolving India Stack, UPI and payments bank ecosystem. Some more news coming your way. Then mobile payment and e-commerce platform Paytm is in talks with a clutch of investors to raise $300 million in fresh funding, which will value the company at $5 billion. Investors who will be part of this round include Taiwanese semiconductor maker MediaTek, Goldman Sachs, Temasek, apart from its existing investors, Alibaba and Saif Partners. While it's not clear the entity into which the funding will be routed, money will be used for its commerce and payments businesses. Paytm was valued at $2.3 billion in its last round of funding last year. When this deal is done, it will be the largest round in the internet space as a whole in the country this year. Back to you, Chandra, in Bengaluru.
Wow, I guess Vijay Shekhar Sharma will be smiling even more going forward, Krishna. One of the few unicorns who hasn't had to face a markdown in valuation. But moving on from that to another piece of funding news that happened today, and we are talking about LizSpace, a startup that offers solutions as far as interior design for homes are concerned. They've gone out and raised a fresh round of funding. They are calling this their Series B. And as part of this, they have raised 100 crore rupees from a clutch of investors that include Bessemer Venture Partners, Jungle Ventures of Singapore, as well as Helion. Now, LizSpace has said that they will use this to really expand into more cities, Noida, Gurgaon, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad in a phased manner, and that they will also invest in technologies such as augmented reality and virtual reality.
All right, Chandra, time now for the other big story that we're featuring here on 18 Hours Startup Central. Robots are playing a very important role today, but the future lies in the hand of collaborative robots, or CoBots, which work along with humans to create new avenues. Now, that's the word in from Universal Robots, the Denmark headquartered company which focuses on making robotic technologies accessible to small and medium enterprises. Now, it is also the first mover in the small robot space. Visuals on your screens will help you get an idea. Now, we caught up with Esben Ostergaard, Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Universal Robots, who opened up to me on how CoBots will create more jobs and their collaboration with the government of India. Now, take a look.
Robots in India is generally relatively small compared to many other countries in the world. India has a quite low robot density per employer. But we see that really changing. We see that India wants to become a manufacturing country and wants to start exporting a lot to the rest of the world. India has the human resources, it has the raw materials, you can say, and it has the capacity, because of the technology knowledge in general, to start becoming this manufacturing hub. India has also the prospect of being one of the few double-digit growth companies over the next years. So there's enormous potential in India to start regaining manufacturing, you can say, that has been lost, and start doing this. What we offer at Universal Robots is we offer this new kind of robot that is especially good at mixing with people, so making basically smaller production series and more flexible, you could say more higher value adding products. This is our specialty. I see that in India, both traditional robots and our kind of new robots, the CoBots, have an enormous growth potential.
All right. Talk to us about India as a market vis-a-vis, say, China, or for that matter, the Western markets when it comes to adoption of robotics technology.
So according to the World Robot Statistics that was released last year, In China, they have around 75,000 robots acquired last year. In India, it's around 2,800 robots. You should think that these two countries can be compared. They're comparable in size and so on. So India is a little behind China in this respect. China has managed to take a lot of manufacturing from all over the world and move it to China. I think around half of the world's manufacturing is going on in China right now. Because China have realized how important manufacturing is to create growth, to create value and create prosperity. I think India wants to get some of that, you can say, and India is ready for it. So the Indian government has taken this initiative called Make in India, where India really wants to reclaim some of this, free up some of this manufacturing potential you have in India.
And that obviously means that the Make in India pitch also augurs well for the robotics technology and robotics manufacturing in the country.
Yes, exactly. Of course, the way to have successful manufacturing in the future is to have a mix of people and robots on the factory floor. So if you have people alone, so everything is about low salary and so on, there's no way you can make products that can export and have the right quality. You need to have the right mix of people and machines on the factory floor.
Whenever we talk about robotics, a lot of fears surrounding how the advent of robotics will become the cause for many job losses across the world. What is your take on that?
Yes, so fear of job loss is everywhere. It's a global phenomenon, especially with this wave of robots coming in. I'm not worried at all because I have several arguments. First of all, the countries in the world with highest robot density per employee is also the countries with the fewest unemployed. We see that in the companies that use a lot of our robots, they actually get more people hired. So normally when you buy one robot, you get 2 or 3 more employees in your company. So you're not really replacing jobs. Also, when agriculture was mechanized in the 18th century, a lot of jobs, you can say, were lost because now suddenly machines could create food and basically create prosperity for humankind, but people did not become unemployed at that time. We still all have work, more or less.
That then brings us to the end of this edition of ET Now Startup Central, packed with news, but also a very sensitive story about AskMe and the impact that it has on employees. So I certainly hope there's a solution there. But thanks so much for watching Startup Central, and keep it with ET Now.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.